Hi friends, Namo Gurube, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. How's it going on this beautiful July 10th, Sunday, 2022? It's I, Jess, come to you here from my Dharma realm. Really, it's just my, meditation room. Anyways, wanted to talk today about equanimity. Equanimity is a really important thing to develop, and that word is thrown around a lot in Tibetan Buddhist terminology and language. And before we get to equanimity, a brief overview of the Buddhist path is essentially, in a nutshell, what we're trying to develop is complete, total compassion for all sentient beings. Pure love and compassion, including ourselves, because we're part of the all, and wisdom that understands the nature of reality and sees things clearly without ignorance. Just the purest form of understanding, awareness of reality. And the third thing is we call it renunciation, is what they say. They say renunciation, but really what we're talking about there is we're no longer going to rely on samsara for our happiness. We're no longer going to rely, because it's unreliable, essentially, from the Buddhist standpoint. We're no longer going to rely on chasing things in samsara as a way to become happy. So within that context, those are the three principles of the path, according to Lama Tsongkhapa. And he put forth those three principles. Within that context of the compassion, the great compassion that we're trying to develop, there's this idea of equanimity. Equanimity is important because we're seeing it's the idea of I'm seeing others as important as myself. I'm just as important as you. You're just as important as me. Everyone's important. Everybody is worthy of love, and we're working towards that angle of giving everyone love, but we're also trying to get rid of our own kind of anger, So we all have anger. Let's just be honest. We have a little anger to deal with. And so this practice of equanimity is there to address it and to basically deal with it and become a more fully loving and open person as a result of practicing this equanimity. And the way to kind of get rid of those problems, those those issues of anger, is to pray for all beings equally. Try to at least put them in that space of love and compassion. Even the people who you don't really look favorably upon. Those people who, I guess the main thing is people are worried, if I pray for my enemies, that somehow that's going to grant them, they're going to be able to do bad things. And that's not what we're aiming for. We're not aiming to empower anyone who is bad. The real trick here is to see that the people who are doing bad things, have the potential to still be a Buddha, and that we're praying that they stop doing bad things that harm others. If you can pray and stop that, to stop harming others, that's really important, And so those people who are harming others, we're praying that they're going to stop doing that, and we're praying that they kind of wake up from that, and that they work to help other beings too. So it's not empowering them in any way. You're not giving power to those bad people. It's more or less kind of really what it's doing is it's challenging our own kind of Grinch heart. Our Grinch heart. And we get this kind of, I really hate that one person. Whoever it is. Let's just say some political person, whoever you don't like. Whoever I don't like, I really hate that one person. That still not cool. In Buddhist practice, having that hatred doesn't actually benefit you And it doesn't actually hurt the other person necessarily. I mean, maybe on some level it can hurt them. But really that hatred, I mean, it really could hurt them actually. Think about it, in the form of violence could happen, et cetera, et cetera. But just you hating them, sitting in your house, hating that person, doesn't really affect them. So it's not a virtue. Being hateful, I remember seeing a lot of this recently, like people like the more hateful they were towards a certain thing or a certain person or whatever, it was like a virtue signal to others that look at how virtuous I am, how much I hate these people, and how much I'm just driven to like frothing mad anger at these people or this group of people. And now you gotta ask yourself, is that actually gonna change things? Is it virtuous to do that in the first place? And is it a good example? Is it a good example to the children? Is it a good example to anyone? So in Buddhism, we're challenging ourselves against these kind of prejudices that we have, It's a prejudice. And it also kind of allows for openness. Say you see someone in public and, they're wearing some political button that you disagree with. Whatever it is, I'm going to keep it open like that. Whatever it is. Are you going to be like, oh, that person, I don't like that person? Or are you going to have, oh, this is an opportunity to practice a little bit of space and openness, and I'm not going to talk to them about something that's going to create it. I'm going to try to make friends and be friendly and not, necessarily go for the throat, as it were. So it's important that we, kind of disarm ourselves mentally in that sense. And also kind of, not be ready to jump all over someone who you're not necessarily in full agreement with. Allow for a room for thought that differs from yours. That's what the positive aspects of the society in the West is that you're able to have freedom of religion and you're able to express different views and without, being, thrown off a building or burned at the stake. So, and I do rejoice that my country of origin, America, United States of America, has that freedom of religion. Whether, you may have other issues with America, but you got to admit, freedom of religion is kind of cool. And freedom from religion is also good, too. If you don't want religion, you have freedom from it, too. You don't have to believe anything, especially, think for yourself. But anyways, back to the equanimity. So we're talking about equanimity today. So it's hard to develop equanimity. We're all kind of edgy. I know I have edgy moments, I try to back down from the edginess. But you really see that everyone is like precious human life, like precious human life has been my mantra lately. I've been trying to practice it, and I just keep saying, precious human life. I see these kids, playing guitar. I teach guitar, and I think, oh, this is a precious human life, Or like, you see even people who are, there really should be no people. If you're really practicing Buddhism, then there really should be no people where you look at you go, oh, those people, look at that person. Oh, with that kind of tone, that goes against the equanimity principle in Buddhism. Ask anyone, they would agree with that statement. It's true. You can't hate on a group of people and call yourself, practicing Buddhist. You're practicing anger if you do it. Sorry, doesn't work. Not Buddhist. So, it's okay. And, humor's good too. Humor's good to loosen ourselves up. But it's really important to love everyone. And like, even like people like that I don't agree with necessarily politically or whoever that person is, it's like, okay, it's a precious human life, that person. That person still has the potential for good. Still has the potential to become enlightened. And I'm praying that they move in that direction and that they don't harm anyone and that they would be removed from any kind of power to harm anyone in terms of, political office. If it's a political person, I'm praying that they're not going to have power to do anything to hurt people. But all I can do in that case is pray and vote. And that's about it. Well, more activism, et cetera, et cetera. But the real point here is that kind of being angry towards a group of people and like kind of walking around with a chip on your shoulder, that right there, the chip on your shoulder thing, that's really dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous for me. It's dangerous because I see a lot of people right now, including myself for a while, and I'm still trying to make sure I don't have a chip on my shoulder. People walk around with a chip on their shoulder, then they usually have a group of people that they blame for that chip. I don't care who it is, who you pick, that group, that's who caused my chip on my shoulder. No, actually, that chip on your shoulder was formed because of how you were feeling, how you reacted, I mean, you may have a legitimate grievance, but just to walk around with a chip on your shoulder is not going to help you, and it's not going to help other people. So what do we do about it? We try to practice this equanimity. And in the Buddhist system, in the Tibetan Buddhist system that I follow, there's a specific group of teachings called Lojong, which has a specific purpose of developing ultimate bodhicitta for all sentient beings. That's the purpose of Lojong, is to develop total love and compassion for all sentient beings by working through these 7 steps, depending on which system, or the 7 plus 11, Geshe Chekwa system, and Tsongkhapa's system, where he merged the two. Anyway, we're not going to get into the details of all that. I'm sure you have a kind of qualified people you can refer to, His Holiness Dalai Lama and various other lamas, kind of to tell you about the Lojong system. We're not going to get into it right here, but I do want to point out that equanimity is really important. It's really important for us, and within the Lojong system, there's a meditation where, so let's do a quick little meditation, right? So you see in front of you, all sentient beings are sitting in front of you, right? So in front of you, there's the three all sentient beings, but they're grouped into 3, okay? So the first group of sentient beings that you're meditating on from here, right, to your right, is your mother and your father, people who you love and love unconditionally, whoever those people may be. It may not be your mother and father, so sorry if, not trying to disqualify anyone here. But if you have, so anyone you have perfect love and admiration and easily can just, your love and light, love and liquid light coming out of your heart towards that group of people, purifying them of all sickness and disease, and uplifting them and giving them great bliss so that they may achieve complete and perfect enlightenment. Okay, that's the group of people you're imagining right in front of you, who to your right, I believe it's to your right, I have to recount, to your right, that you easily love. For me, it'd be like my grandma, my mom, my family, my girlfriend, my immediate family. So now we're gonna go to the middle people. People in the middle are those people you have neutral feelings towards, that you neither know or you don't know. That people walk down the street chewing gum, you don't know who they are. So they're kind of neither here nor there for you emotionally or feeling wise. So that group of people, we're gonna send light and liquid energy through our heart, from our heart out to them, purifying them of all negativities, at least imagining. This is just, in Vajrayana, we do this kind of fake it till you make it, usage of imagination. You're doing a practice here. You're empowering that reality to be real through your mind, because your mind is powerful. Anyways, so this neutral group of people, you're giving complete and total love, compassion, people you don't know, people on the street, precious human life. They're so precious. They have potential to help all sentient beings. They matter. They count. Everyone, I gotta be careful what I say here. Everyone counts. Everybody. And so we're giving love and compassion out to all sentient beings, right? Okay, boom. But specifically, in this case, the neutral ones, the ones we kind of have a neutral feeling towards. He neither here nor there to us. Who's the next group for us? Uh-oh. These guys over here. Guys or girls. Okay, so now we're going to focus on the group of people who we would normally consider our enemies, or we normally consider kind of the people we don't like, the people we consider not so great, doing not so great things, people who you hate. Because we're trying to get rid of our hate, right? Because we're trying to be quote-unquote Buddhists here, right? So that group of people who are kind of on our short list, are we don't like. Okay, that group of people we're trying to. Okay, now we're practicing love and compassion towards them. Whoever that political figure is you don't like, okay? Precious life, precious human life. Love and compassion. We're sending love and light through our heart to that group of people without prejudice, without stopping, without flinching. No flinching allowed. Giving love, giving compassion to that group of people who we don't normally enjoy, to put it so ever so slightly. It's kind of, correctly here. So all three of those groups of people, and so we're practicing love, compassion, spreading love and light. Now we're going to just practice it to all of them, okay? All of them. Mix them up. Let's not put them in little specific genres or this person or that category of person or this category. They're all just precious human life. All of them. And we're trying to really look at them as beautiful, precious, that each person is important in their own right to themselves, to their own life. Their body is the vehicle for them to attain enlightenment. They have it right now. They have that vehicle. They have access to powerful teachings to transform the mind. So we're praying that they have that, and they have love, that everyone can experience this love and openness, So that was more, I don't know if it was a meditation or more of a description of a meditation you can do, or you could kind of do it as I say it. But really, the point here is that we're working on chiseling away at our own hate, You got a little anger in there. You do. I know I do. A little bit, I'm trying to calm it down by practicing this, because by familiarity, that's how we... That's called meditation. That's you familiarizing yourself with a series of actions, and we constantly are reifying our whatever you do in life. If you're always get up in the morning and have coffee, then that's going to be your pattern, right? Like if you're always doing a certain thing, that tends to be the pattern that you have. We're trying to interrupt the matrix of our own issues, People talk about mindfulness a lot, like the mindfulness meditation stuff, and it's really helpful. But, it's one thing to say, oh, I'm very mindful that I have anger towards this group of people. I'm very mindful. I'm so mindful of it. I know that I have this anger, Well, okay, so good. That's the first step, It's like in AA. The first step is admitting you have a problem. Hi, my name is Justin. I have an anger problem. Like that. And then that's the first step. Mindfulness is great in that sense. But specifically, what are you going to do about it? So mindfulness of being angry is one thing. How about finding a way to get, to deal with that anger rather than avoid it or crystallize it and put it over there in the closet? It's like, look at it. Let's just look at it. Like, first of all, does it actually help you to be angry, Are you walking around angry with a chip on your shoulder? I'm asking myself this question, and I'm asking you too. So I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. Equanimity. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. It's hard to take the high road. And when you come into challenging situations with people, you should be able to talk and explain yourself. And the more you kind of get into this space, precious human life. Calming, heart rate is down. I'm feeling calm. I'm not shaking even though I had 2 cups of coffee a little bit ago. So hopefully when you get into a situation where people may not agree with you on some stuff, like you can calmly address the situation and come from a place of love, and that you've already addressed this feeling of, you've already addressed your anger ahead of time, so you kind of deal with it, And it's kind of an important Buddhist practice, and that's what we're trying to do within this equanimity practice, And so I'm just going to say the 4 measurables real quick. May all beings have happiness in its causes. May all beings be free from suffering in its causes. May all beings have the joy that has never known suffering. And may all beings dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. So may we be free from aversion away from those other people we don't like, those people, that we're going to try to get rid of those people business, right? And then not just attached to our friendlies, and we got to mix it up. So may all beings be free from attachment to those we love, and just attachment to only the certain group, and then aversion to the other group. So it's kind of, that's what we're striving for when we talk about equanimity in Buddhism. We all like to talk about equality of this and that, but we may not have feelings of equality for our next door neighbor or even our own spouse or girlfriend. So, I'm for equality, but you really, can barely stand the guy, driving slow in front of you. So it's a challenge, dude. Buddhism is supposed to challenge you in a good way, for the better. And I'm trying to do it for myself, So anyway, I think I'll just conclude here, because it's better to do short videos than long, because people don't have the patience for it. I don't watch long videos on YouTube. I tend to watch 10-minute videos. Unless I'm really into something, I'll watch a longer one. So anyhow, I love you. I hope that this helps you with your anger, and I hope it helps me with my anger. Okay? Love you. Bye-bye.